It's June 29, 2025. Tom Crawford here in the Crawford Indoor Studios here in East Lansing, Michigan, for yet another riveting episode of Coach Keyton Crawford on the Crawford Podcasting Network with my loyal, dedicated, high-content podcast partner, opinionated as well, Coach Kerry Keyton. How you doing, Kerry?
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Another
Yeah.
beautiful day in another beautifully hot day today in Lansing.
Yeah, hot. We got yesterday was really nice, and then we sound
Oh.
like Dennis Wayne, the weather vane. I'm going back in time. Preoccupation with weather, but it was hot this past week,
Yeah.
and you get cold easily, but you were bitching about the heat, but everybody was because it was so freaking humid, and it was Houston-like when I was living in Houston. Remind me of the old same days. But yesterday was really nice.
Yeah,
And I
beautiful.
went for a long walk. It was outstanding. Got the boat out in the morning. Water cures all ills. But this week is an interesting week for a lot of reasons. We're going to touch on a few topics today here. I want to remind our listeners to do us the honor and a favor of going out and subscribing to our podcast on our YouTube channel at Tom's Take. Just go out. It's free. You get all our videos as well with Kerry and all my other videos. And also TikTok at Bluebelly Tom, and then Facebook at Tom's Take. So, Kerry,
Sir.
this is the 1 week Michigan High School Athletic Association deems as a dead period. 1 week where there's no formal workouts allowable in any sport, correct?
Yeah.
Yep. And then, and truth be told, we focus on football. But as a coach, do you like that?
No, sir. Not at all. Not
Why is
one.
that?
Because I mean, if you really are doing what you're supposed to do, now granted, in this day and age, we tell kids go to your other workout places and get your workout in. This is what you do, blah 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 blah. But in the city, our kids ain't going to no cottage up north. They ain't going to the beach house.
Now you're doing a broad brush thing right now.
We're not doing that. We're going downtown, or we're going out to Sharp Park to see some fireworks on the 3rd and the 4th, and we're calling it a day. That's what we doing. Okay. To take 9 days off in the middle of the summer when you've been grinding since school or spring, and then you start summer workouts, to take 9, because as we know, some kids aren't going to do anything. If they're not required to do it, they'll find other things or other excuses or whatnot to not do anything. And so now you take 9 days off. I don't care who you are. That's a big reset. Now, I'm not saying you gotta, I have no problem with, cut off the 707s and all the other stuff, all that jazz. Okay, yeah, we don't need to do it. Come in, just make it a bit. You don't have to do it for, you don't have to make them, the program like we have with Coach Kelly all summer. Look, I'm gonna have the weight room open from 9 to 11. I'm gonna be here getting my workout in. If you want to show up, come and get your work. You do your own stuff, and then you can leave whenever. Provide the space for them to, if they want to come work out. But to just take 9 to say no, you can't do anything.
Well, it's not. I mean, in essence, you don't do weekends. It's 1 week off. 1 week off of 52. Okay, 1 week.
Days.
I'll start out by saying I strongly disagree with you.
Very good.
In this regard, because I think there's a burnout factor sometimes. I mean, kids are kids, all right? They are. Now, for us, okay, we did go up to you call it the cottage. We went up to Elk Lake for 47 years. When Cody, from 7th grade to 12th grade, it was that 1 week off period, okay? Well, in high school, 9, 10, 11, 12, you didn't have that off period. We were at Elk Rapids after water skiing in the morning. We're at Elk Rapids High School doing the passing tree on the field. where the Elks play, and did a workout and did the cone drills, and ran all the dig routes and the post corners and the drags and all that stuff.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Okay, so you did it on your own. Okay, well, it's fine because it gave us an opportunity. He still incorporated that, and yet we had family time. So
Okay.
if and let me tell you something. If there were still practices on the schedule, he wouldn't have gone because he didn't miss a practice from 7th grade to 12th grade of any kind. Okay, that's the way he was wired. So I relish
That's
that.
great. Sure. But how many of his teammates went with him to Elk Rapids? Now, like I said, I don't have a problem with not the structured. No, I don't need to be. I don't need. But let me provide a space for you, because we don't all have the advantages of going up north and doing all that kinds of stuff. So what do you want to do? You just gonna tell them to go fend for themselves? Like, no, if you want to come get a workout in, come and get your stuff. If you guys want to go do your own thing out there on the field, we unlock the field. You go practice and do whatever.
Okay, so keep the field unlocked. Start with that. Keep the field unlocked so they have that full access. They don't have to climb up the fence.
Do your own thing. I
Yeah,
don't
bring them,
have a problem
give
with
them some cones.
that.
All they got to do is a 3-cone drill. Just work on agilities for that week.
But
No balls. No balls.
they need to continue to do something. You don't want to just not do anything and then have to reset
Well, I
when they
get that.
start all over again.
So you're talking about the perspective of the kids that need prompting, the
They
kids
need
that
the
don't
truck.
have, well, they might not even have a traditional 2 parents. They might not even had a dad at home to do the pass
Right.
and tree.
I'd be living with grandma. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I get it.
totally different than it was 10. I mean, well, I take that back. It really isn't any different than what it was 15, 20 years, because kids was living like that then too. It's just a different dynamic, and it just happens to be at East Lansing and not Lansing Eastern. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So I just hate taking the option away from the kids.
Right.
Let them decide if they, and like I said, I'm not gonna hold it against you, not one
Right.
bit.
Yeah,
You
you're
know,
not being penalized for it.
no, I'm
But you
just,
better show up on time,
oh, no
at all
question.
those other practices.
It's gonna be 9 to 11 o'clock. I'm walking
Okay.
out the door.
Don't have a parent drop their kid off at 5 minutes late for practice and they're walking through the gate.
Truly,
Walking, not sprinting.
no
Now, if
hustle.
I was a coach, you might as well leave.
Don't even you
Don't
because
show up.
it's not important to you at that point.
Don't show up. That is the biggest sign
That you don't care.
lack of commitment right there. They're walking. And that's happening all over the city.
Oh yeah, everywhere. I mean, if you're late, you're late. Whatever. Things happen. I understand that. But damn it, when you get out of that car, you better be running.
You better be running and
Better-
apologizing.
Exactly. Oh, coach, I'm sorry. I'm good. And get your butt in line, and you better be giving 100% maximum effort from the time you get there. Yeah, no, that's why I had talked about that last week. Like, then you want to get mad because somebody yell at you because you're late. It's not my fault. Why you get mad? Just be on time. And if whoever is getting you there and getting you there late, then you need to find somebody else. Take some responsibility and do what you got to do to be there on time, especially older kids, juniors or seniors type.
Yeah.
There's no excuse for that. No excuse for that.
Granted, there are high school kids in this market and all over metropolitan areas, all over the state for that matter, that they're a constant movement of instability. They're at their dad's one night, they're at their mom's the next day. If they have a dad, if they have a mom, you know what I mean?
No
And
doubt.
so there's no
doubt.
continuity. And so if for you as a coach, how do you handle that one versus what I was talking about with my own personal situation, my family situation, my kids? stability overload, okay, versus what? I mean, do you give them some sympathy or do you give them a mulligan on that? What do you do?
No, because here's the thing. The bottom line is this. All you have to do is communicate. By communicating your situation, like if you know the kid and then
Well,
that
you better know the kid and you better know the situation
right, you
before you
build
even speak.
relationships. You build relationships with these young men, and that's like I said. That goes back to being one of the harder parts about not being in the building with them. You don't you don't know the whole dynamic of how and where, but and all that. But you got to build the relationships with them so you understand where they're coming from, who if they are out of district kid who are coming from the west side of Lansing, by Waverly or something like that, the dynamics of getting to East Lansing and all those kinds of things. But again, those are choices that you made. You made the choice to come here. So then you need to figure out how to make sure you're here on time. That being said, things happen. I understand that. Pick up the damn phone because we all know they don't go anywhere without the phone. They don't go to the restroom without the darn phone in their hand.
Right.
Call me, let me know that you're running late or somebody so that they know, Coach, I'm running, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't make it okay, but it makes it okay. You know what I'm saying? At least I know that you had the wherewithal to phone me and let me know you're running late and that you're going to be there and you're coming and okay. But the no call, the no show, the show up at 9:15, we're supposed to start at 9, and then then you may have an attitude, or like you said, you're not hustling, you know, all those things, tell me that you don't care.
Right.
If I'm here, I expect you to be here. So, but again, like I said, it's the communication. Communicate with me and building the relationship so you understand, like, because some kids' parents don't care.
They don't care.
They don't
No.
care at all.
Mm-mm.
They're on my time. Like, okay. And then
Yeah.
and then you understand that, like, look, John gonna be late probably every day because his mom don't care enough or dad don't care enough to get him here on time. So, that's what we have to deal with. And even the kids, the kids know that. I mean, it is what it is. We're not gonna give him special favors. Hey man, you missed this and this, so make sure you get that done at the end. We're covered. It's all done. So, but that comes with understanding the situation that the kid's coming from, and then you work with that.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it's nothing easy. There's nothing easy about coaching high school kids. Nothing. It's
oh God, no. Oh, I mean, it's
all a wild crap shoot every time because you just never know. You just never know from day to day what's going on.
well because you got like 40 to 50 uncontrolled environments in their respective home. I mean, a lot of them don't. I mean, you don't know what you're dealing with.
Mm-mm.
So you're shooting at you're working with a moving target as far as their
Sure.
situations,
And not all kids are willing to be as forthcoming about their situations. They may
right,
not want you to know how it is. But that comes with building a relationship with them. Like, hey man, look, I'm here to help you.
yeah,
I can't help you if you don't let me.
right.
So,
Well, I think the biggest takeaway from this topic, and we're gonna move on to a couple of things, is a communication to get that kid to feel comfortable
sure,
being transparent with their coach, and maybe it's one position coach that is the competent on that.
exactly.
If you have one coach who can relate to that kid,
You know,
and
and
I'm sure you're really good at
typically it'd
that.
be that position coach, who he spends the most time with.
Yeah,
Like, hey man, just let all my kids when I'm at EV or my hey, so you just call me and let me know, man. I got you. Don't worry about it. You stuck over here, whatever. No big deal. We'll take care of the rest after.
yeah. Well, football's the least fun sport to prepare for. I mean, the game. I mean, it's the game. It's a lot of cone drills. It's 90-degree heat and stuff, attention to detail stuff that not fun. Not
No,
fun.
That's before you put the equipment on.
Yeah, exactly. All
Then it
right.
gets
Besides the latter part of June, we're on the threshold of the off period that Kerry Keyton does not like. But on July 6th, you'll be back, and the kids will be back after the 4th, and you can get them back to work. But also in this town, for several years now, our good friend Desmond Ferguson has had this thing called Moneyball. The
money.
only way to ball. Moneyball, this two times a week basketball extravaganza of dunks and athleticism. A lot of Michigan State players. I guess 2 max on each team. So, and it's at whole high school again this year.
Yep. Oh,
Yep.
20th anniversary of the Moneyball program.
Wow, and we've had Des on here before, and Des just had another one of those free clinics for kids. I mean,
Everett, 2 of them, Everett, and then he did one down in Southfield. There's one down.
I commend him for that, and that's the way he's wired. A product of the Lansing School District and a really positive output.
Absolutely.
But I've been to those Moneyball things. I mean, if you like high wire racks, if you like ball moving up and down, not a lot of defense, but it's fun, and it's almost like this kind of sense of community. Everybody comes out and hangs out, and the basketball is fun to watch. I think it's a great environment. He's done a great job with it.
Outstanding environment for especially for the kids, because again, not everybody has the ability to go to sparring games.
Yes, it's cheap. Free,
not cheap. They go out there to Holt. They can see Michigan State basketball players. They can see Central Michigan basketball players. I loved it when the Michigan kids came for a while there. You know, the Oakland players were coming. They get to see people that they see on TV that they may not ever get to see. And they get to see them in person, maybe get an autograph.
A lot of autographs, a lot of photo ops. That's what I like. I see on Facebook a lot of families, taking like Cohen, they're taking a picture with him or some Michigan State players who they obviously idolize, and that makes it worth it right there because it's full access. It's really laid back.
And shout out and kudos to those guys for doing that, because they don't have to do that. They could play their game and take off and leave, but they stay and they sign the shirts and the hats and the balls and all that kind of stuff. And it's just really nice to see, because like I'm a believer with Charles Barkley would say, I'm not a role model, because like you should find other people to be role models than just athletes. But those kids, like you said, they look up to them, they idolize them. So just to get a picture or autograph or something like that, I still got pictures of Mr. John Shinsky when my dad used to take me out to Michigan State.
Yeah.
Like, believe that. It's like, wow, how about that? But it's just a cool thing to be able to do and say, and it's a great environment out there, air conditioned.
Yeah. I mean, so it was 20 years. Is that correct? So 20 years?
20th anniversary, yeah.
20, okay. Because I went to some of those early Moneyball games over at Section, I think. It started at Section. Well, Section's gym in the summer is the hottest gym in the entire city. It's in the middle of the school. I mean, it's just, there's nothing.
That baby.
Yeah, it's cooking. And those guys were glistening. Second run down the court, everybody's shining sweat, man. But everybody was loose, and it was great.
It was a great time. It was it would be nice if Eastern could get it together and get some air conditioning in the dime, and then you have plenty of room for the whole side. Then you could have a side over to the north of the gym where you could set up tables so kids can walk through and get autographs. Make it very a lot more.
The dime would be great, but I mean, it's so freaking hot in there, and I'm up. For anybody to commit air conditioning in that building, that ain't happening.
You got to upgrade.
I mean, I agree with you, but I'm worried about that place, quite frankly, because I'm thinking of Sparrow Hospital, U of M Health Sparrow, licking their chops to knock that thing down. That worries me.
Yeah, they really don't care too much about Lansing Eastern or nothing.
No.
But
No.
that's a
That's
whole
another
other
topic, another day here on
here
the
forever.
Crawford Podcasting Network and Coach Keyton and Crawford. Well, Kerry, I want you to have a great, gut it out. I know you can't work with the
No
kids, but
question.
go pet your
I'm
cars.
But we're gonna be on it. If I'm not driving that bus, we'll be on the track every morning now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
We're gonna be
That's the
out
way it should be.
hey. She gonna get it in because she has no choice. I mean, I have to provide her an opportunity for her to get better, whether she likes it or not.
There you go.
And
All right. Well, next week, I'm going to be on vacation. So we will reconnect on July 13th, I think it is, 2 weeks from today. And then we got that long run. Then, baby, we're into July 13th. I got NFL camps are open like 1 week or 2 later. 1 week later, Lions are playing in the Hall of Fame game. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome when we get back. We'll be getting into the football thing.
Yeah.
And high school football 2 days open of a month later from that or less than. It's gonna be great.
Gonna be on and popping. You high school coaches, get ready because we're gonna get you in here and grill you.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. And that's what we'll do. We'll line up all our guests, and we're gonna have more guests coming, and other guests of different facets of sports. So always enjoy it. Be safe. Stay cool, everybody. Gonna be another hot one. Until next time, Coach Keyton Crawford here on the Crawford Podcasting Network. That's Kerry Key Noise, isn't it?
Go green.
And I say, go blue.